information. All right, I'm going to ask my director, Brenda, obviously, to be putting up those instructions on your screen in case you haven't participated just yet. We're asking you to send anything between 50 Kenya shillings to 1,000 Kenya shillings to the pay bill number that's on your screen, 919155, to the account number K24. There's 100,000 Kenya shillings to give away at the top of the hour. Maybe, just maybe, this morning we will also be looking for a bonus winner around 8:20 or so, where we will be giving away 1,000 Kenya shillings. So we encourage you this morning, we encourage you today to get playing. Of course, this could be your chance. We've seen so many people have their lives changed through Dumo Lotto. Sawa Sam. And of course, Shiko Kaitani here with you. My handle's also at the bottom of your screen. Please go ahead, DM me, follow me. I'd be most appreciative. Now, today we are focusing on the workplace by highlighting the crucial role that human resource managers play in the modern workplace, okay? We want to understand how HR has evolved over time and what does it take to equip HR professionals in the ever-changing dynamic field of human resource. This time around, we're teaming up with College of Human Resource Management. This is not their first time on the show. We're happy to welcome back to the show certified HR practitioner Margaret Kinyanjui, who happens to be the principal at CHRM College. Maggie, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Shiko, so much for having us once again.
Yes.
I'm glad to be here.
Karibu, karibu.
Yeah.
And seated right next to me is CHRP lecturer and HR professional Catherine Wamwangi, if I said that correctly. Thank you. And Catherine, welcome to the show.
Morning.
Good morning. All right, so let's get started. I think you need to tell us about how things have been over at the college, Princey.
Quite exciting.
Yes.
Lots of interest in our programs. Remember the last time we were here?
Yeah.
We told you now our slogan is HR and more. Yeah, we've been known as HR College.
Yeah.
But what we are doing, we are getting out now and bringing more programs on board.
Okay.
And we are seeing, an interest in take up of our programs like cybersecurity.
Yeah.
We find that's a very interesting area, especially for this post-secondary students. Yeah, also IT, a lot of IT, marketing as well. We have partnered with Marketing Society to do their diplomas. So we are happy. We are doing well. We are happy.
Yeah. Catherine, last time, she was around, we were just, having small talk, talking about how HR now has become such, a demanding field. And once upon a time, it really wasn't there. But for you who's even in the teaching space, because now you are a lecturer, what can you see that has, changed over time in the profession?
I think a lot has changed, no doubt. When we look at about 150 years ago, when HR really started evolving from the Industrial Revolution to where we are in the now tech world, a lot has happened, and we look at more in terms of productivity, motivation. We are looking at how people are motivated at the workplace, and that takes the centerfold of the HR person. So from a lecturing perspective, we see more people being interested in taking up HR and really looking at what impact it will do to themselves as a career, but also taking it to the workplace. So we've seen more uptake and more people being mentored. The college has done a tremendous job, and we can talk about that in terms of really making sure that there is more integrated approach from a professional point of view, but also from a career point of view. So that has really continued to evolve, and it's something that we are continuously monitoring in terms of the kind of work-related issues that they will face at the workplace.
Right.
So bringing them back to the college and saying, let's look for best practices and make sure that that is what is being lectured, so that it's very aligned to the market and what's expected to deliver.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Remember, like we were saying, there are some careers that are being termed as obsolete, but HR is here to stay.
For sure. HR is here to stay.
It can never be automated.
There will be spaces for automation, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
AI is here to stay, technology is here to stay, but the people interaction, you know, for you to come and really have those bespoke activities or programs for an employee, because everything is centered on the employee, and there's no question that HR will continue to be the centerfold in terms of what needs to be done by the employer.
Right.
So HR is here to stay. It's just aligning itself into the technology space to make sure that it becomes more efficient and more agile in what is expected to be delivered by HR.
Right.
Yes.
I want us to be able to, you know, kind of give the kind of information we have today, especially for the SME sector. You know, they're driving the economy principle. But, you know, also that role of HR is still a murky area for a lot of them, because maybe they just don't feel like they need it and they don't understand it. But one of the things I liked about our talking points is about trying to explain the distinct functions and divisions within HR. So it kind of helps us understand what the importance of having HR strategy in your company or your organization is, and where people, you know, you kind of place it, you know, HR.
Yeah, thanks, Shiko. It's sad that a lot of SMEs don't realize the critical role that HR plays in an organization. And we moved, like Catherine has explained, we moved from what HR was known as just a hiring and firing kind of function to more strategic roles.
Yes.
Yeah. There's the administrative part of it, which is critical because that has, you know, has to be done. However, for any organization to be able to move to the next step, HR must be part of the strategy that is going on. This is because they are the department or the role that brings in or understands what is the strategy of the organization, who are the people that are needed to be able to execute that strategy.
Right.
If HR is not part of that plan or in those discussions, then of course your plans are not going to be able to, you know, to be executed very well. So for SMEs, I think for them it's the cost factor that for them is an issue.
You guys are expensive.
But then look again at what it costs you if you don't do it right. You have issues where, like for example, you don't practice you know, best HR practices. Then what does that get you? The employees will take you to court. And like I told you last time, and when you were here, most of the employee and labor relations court, they're most likely on the side of the employee, because if you don't get the processes right, then obviously it's a cost to the organization. So you need to get your HR department or HR functions proper. Yeah, you need to practice the proper labor laws, for example. You need to know how to get in, you know, your employees on board properly. And also, once you get them on board, what is it you do with them? It's not just a matter of them coming in to do, you know, certain functions. And you don't have benefits, say, for example. Also, the welfare. Like, nowadays, you know what's happening with mental, you know, well-being and all that. You need to take care of that as well. Then there's, of course, the generational, you know, challenges that we are having at the workplace. I know the boomers are almost exiting, but now we have all these other generations. We have the Gen Zs now. The way they relate to workplaces or even work
is very different.
Is different from what somebody in the you know, other generations look at. So those are some of the challenges that are there in the workplace, and HR must be there to be able to make sure that those challenges are smoothened in the operations.
Wow, what that sounds to me is that even on your end, the work never stops. You have to evolve with the times.
You can't. I mean, it's so dynamic. Everything changes. You know, there are so many challenges that come in at the workplace, and as a HR, you have to always be on top of the game.
Right.
Otherwise, then you'll have issues from, you know, coming.
So the HR manager in a bank will have to practice differently from a HR manager at an advertisement firm, because you've got creatives you're dealing with, and then is this going to be a disciplinary issue if they're not, you know, suits and ties and everything?
I think the most important thing for us to understand is that the core functions of HR will always remain. You know? And a good HR practitioner will understand what are the core functions
of that.
Then leveraging on that is to understand the business that you are in.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
if I'm in the media industry, then what are the norms and practices of the media industry? What kind of bespoke programs am I supposed to be able to put together so that people become competitive and people become your competitive advantage? If I'm in the financial sector, then it means that this is also how we behave and this is how we address our matters. You know, if it's suit and tie, because that is the kind of clientele, again, it's also informed by your customers and your clients in terms of how you behave around your business and stuff like that. The most important thing we would like to emphasize is that understanding the business that you are in, then it gives you a better position to be successful and to be successful for the people and for the strategy that you're trying to unpack in that industry. So we have seen that looking inwardly and then looking outwardly in terms of what you're supposed to deliver gives the results that are required. And then you can move from each industry. You know, it's important that also you diversify if you're interested in that diversification. But if you have the platform and the understanding of good HR practices, then you'll always be successful.
Fantastic. All right, dear viewer, would like you to send in your questions if you do have any, or even your comments in regards to today's discussion. At K24 TV is how you can reach us across those platforms. That's Instagram, that's Facebook, as well as X. We also do have our WhatsApp line that's at the bottom of your screen. Even as we give you the opportunity to do so, let me just let you know about our Quick Box promotion that's also running side by side with Dumu Lotto. It just officially launched today, so big news. And even with this, there's a bigger cash prize that's at hand, 2 million Kenya shillings up for grabs. And again, instructions pretty simple when you're playing with some of the promotions that we run here at Media Max. All we want you to do is play with a number between 1 and 6 with as little as 30 Kenya shillings and stand your chance to win 2 million bob. Now, a lot of inquiries have been coming through in regards to the pay bill number when it comes to the Quick Box promotion. It is 23656. That is 23656. All right, so all the best with that. Maggie, getting back to you, we also want to understand a little bit about the curriculum, you know, and how you're ensuring that the curriculum is also evolving, you know, with the times. What can you tell us?
Okay, the kind of curriculum we have as a middle-level college is not internally developed.
Oh, okay.
So, for example, for NEC programs, that is, they are examined by Kenya National Examination Council. They are developed by KICD, Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development. They are the one tasked to, you know, to develop that curriculum. So, in matters of us, we can give our, you know, feedback, you know, when getting information from the industry, but there's not so much that you can have a control of. However, what we do, and this is in every of the programs that we have what we call the emerging issues in each of those areas, so that whoever we are using in our faculty is able now to bring what is the industry practice at the moment. Catherine didn't tell you that she's also an alumni.
Oh, yes, I think I saw that in your profile.
She's an alumni, a HR practitioner, and a coach. As we speak, she's taking the coaching units in our certification program.
Oh, great.
So she's a practitioner. So she's bringing what is the industry, you know, a practice out there. So that's how we've been able to you know, to blend what is in the curriculum, that is the standard curriculum, the theory that is, with the industry practice. So you'll find in our faculty we'll have people like Catherine who are practitioners, but we'll also have people from academia, people who are, you know, basically mwalimu, so to speak. But we've been able to blend that really well. And then of course we have instances where we'll bring practitioners to just come and talk to our students. We have monthly, you know, we plan monthly talks where we bring in people like Catherine and others, mostly our alumni, because you remember the last time I talked to you, I told you more than half of practitioners, HR practitioners in this country, our alumni.
Oh, wow, that's
so
huge, right?
in terms of giving back, they'll come and talk to our students on their specific area. If it's employee relations, is it talent acquisition, is it wellness, so that it gives a rich experience to our students. So
okay, that's great. And sorry, you wanted to add on to that? Yeah.
To add on to that and to make it real practical. If you're passionate about something, I'm very passionate about coaching, and I'm a accredited coach. So what happens is that I'm able to bring in my fellow coaches into the class and really demonstrate very practically what coaching is all about. And then what that has done is to prepare students adequately for the exam, being very practical in terms of what is expected outside, and blending that with the curriculum of for HR and PEB, what has been set by the authority. But also what we have found is that taking out that best practice into the marketplace is when people come and call you and say, I see it now. Practically at my workplace, I'm able to practice that.
Right.
So it means that it's never ending, and we are able to support each student and to become a better professional.
Right.
So when you hear those kind of success stories, it really encourages you, and you build a profession that is credible, and people are able to say, indeed, I make the right decision to join the college, but also being very practical at the marketplace.
Okay, and speaking about that practicality, how are you able then now to transfer those real life situations on ground into the classroom so that someone can understand when you get there, it's not necessarily it's a bed of roses. You have to get down, get dirty, understand what each employee is going through and under your docket, right? So how are you able to just bring that real picture within the classroom space?
First and foremost, like what I've said, I'm very passionate. So let me speak from an individual point of view. And I believe that I'm speaking to most of the faculty in terms of how we do it. Being very practical and knowing what you're supposed to deliver and how you're supposed to deliver it. I think that is very important in terms of whatever, because there's quality assurance as well from the principal and from the supervision team. So that aside, and then now you look at the students and say, what is the objective? Why are you here? Looking at what the student really wants to understand and come out of it. It's not just about passing exams. For me as a lecturer and for me as a HR practitioner. So it's to bring in my experience of 30 years being in the practice, and also now infusing it in the curriculum that is supposed to be delivered, and then looking at the student in terms of this is the student who has come to class. But apart from passing the exam, so what else do they expect to get from me as a lecturer? So sharing my experiences, bringing guest lecturers, making sure that we can have discussions, at that level in terms of what are you experiencing at your workplace. If you went to the workplace, the best and the worst of it, and bringing it and enriching that experience around the students' life cycle in the college. So by the time they are leaving, whether they're already working or whether they are looking at coming into the workplace, then they are much more better prepared. And forming that network. Your networks are extremely important. So forming that network from the very beginning, and that's something that we stress on, that please form networks around, not just thinking. Even if it's virtual learning, you're still able to form those networks and supporting the students.
Okay, ladies.
What Catherine might also want to tell you is that most of the classes that we have a lot of mature students, people who are coming from the office to do, and they end up being more like a consultation, not even like a class. Because everybody's coming with their issues from where they're working, say for example, and they want answers. So it becomes a consultation.
More than anything.
Yes, more than anything.
All right, Princy, let's take a short break. I understand that we just need to hand out some money to our bonus winner, and then we'll get back into the conversation after the short commercial break. Dumulotto still on, dear viewer, through that obviously pay bill number that we had given you earlier on. We did promise that we'll be giving away 1,000 Kenya shillings right in between the program, and I understand Josephine is on the line. Josephine, if you can hear me, good morning. Hello, Josephine.
Hey, nasikia.
Unanisikia? Habari yako?
Nzuri, salama.
Aha, where are you watching K24 from?
Kutoka Makueni.
Ah, fantastic. Aya basi, nimesikia pesa ni zako sahi.
Pesa ngapi? Mbona hujaniambia ni ngapi?
Hawatakuambia ni ngapi?
Bado hujaniambia ni ngapi?
Okay, nikwambia ni 5,000.
5,000?
No.
Nitashukuru sana asubuhi. Asubuhi itakuwa nzuri sana.
Oh, okay fine. Wacha ni subtract to 4,000 nikubakishie moja. Hiyo itakuwa sawa?
Ukinibakishia moja itakuwa amenimaliza.
Josephine,
kitu kidogo badala ya kutoa ongeza.
Okay, wala nitakuongezea top of the hour. You never know, 100,000 inaweza kuwa yako, but please don't give up. Sawa sawa. Lakini kwa sahi wacha nikupatie 1,000 Kenya shillings. Hiyo ni yako, sijui kama utanunua airtime kama ni lunch ama I don't know. Itakusaidiaje?
Itanisaidia kununulia watoto lunch.
Okay, sawa sawa.
Asante sana.
Okay, you're welcome, Josephine. Thank you so much for participating.
Asante.
All right. Josephine there, by the way, hoping for more. And FYI, that's just, it's not the end. If she continues to participate, she could also be a lucky winner again at the top of the hour, or who knows, later in the day, tomorrow. It is just your luck. And so we want to encourage you this morning to continue to participate as we continue to spread cheer across the country through Dumu Lotto. 100,000 Kenya shillings is what you could call our jackpot prize. So go ahead, send in what you can to that pay bill number 919155 and the account K24. All right, more on HR practice when we get back after the break. right, and welcome back to the show. We're actually discussing HR Manenos this morning, specifically the role of HR in organizational success. We're so happy to have Catherine Wamwangi, lecturer and HR professional in studio, as well as the principal of CHRM College, Margaret Kinyanjui, with us today. Also looking out for your feedback, your questions, if you do have any. Before we get to that, we also would like to remind you about our new promotion that is running, known as QuickBox, okay? Yes, we have been telling you about Dumulotto for days now, but we are just adding on to obviously the good vibes here at K24 through QuickBox. And so for this one, in this particular case, we've got that cash prize of 2 million Kenya shillings to give away. And we are asking you to simply participate by you or sending any number between 1 and 6, playing with as little as 30 shillings and standing your chance to win this cash prize. So yet again, the pay bill number is 23656 should you wish to participate. And then as always, Dumulotto will be returning at the top of the hour. Let's see who will be walking away with some serious money this morning. All right, so as always, our social media platforms at the bottom of your screen. You can also see mine as at Shiko Kaitani. Please go ahead and plug on, or at least log on to my social media platforms. Ladies, welcome back to the program. We do understand there's some feedback that has come through to those platforms, that is. Let's see. So I guess we can spread them. Either you, Catherine, or Maggie, you can take the questions. Let's see one here that's coming from Marcus from Mombasa, who says, what are the top questions in a HR interview when job hunting? Okay, I guess they want to know what you would be asking when they walk into an interview. Well, you don't have to give all. Maybe what do you think?
I think the most important thing is to just applaud yourself that you have gotten yourself to the interview table because of looking at the CV. Then the questions will be around your attitude, your professionalism, your experience, your skills, and what you would be coming to contribute to the organization. So just making sure that you understand yourself. Are you self-aware of who you are and how your values resonate with the values of this organization?
Right.
So just trying to gel that and make sure that you understand that. And then the technical capability of the job. Do I understand the role? How would I impact to the company strategy? What would be expected of me? And also looking at how I collaborate well with the rest of the people in the organization. So just making sure that you're able to drive and confidently say that the questions being asked, you're able to answer them along those lines. Yes.
Great. All right, Brenda, another text message, tafadhali. This is Juliet, who goes on to say, hello, we have experienced cases of sexual harassment in the workplace. How can we hold HR for not taking action? Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
What policies do you have at the workplace? Because every organization should have a sexual harassment policy in the workplace.
But qua ground, you know.
Kwa ground, vitu ni different.
Maggie, but qua ground, that's what Julie is telling you. But qua ground, vitu ni different. I mean, what do you do with an inefficient HR? Yeah.
Well, it all begins with the culture that we have in the organization, and whether we have really an open culture that people are able to speak up, and not just not the policies, but being able to let people know that harassment cannot be seen in this organization in any form and in any shape and in any size, and giving people the confidence that if they come to HR, we'll be able to address those matters.
Right.
And also looking into line managers being able to pick up that, and line managers going out actively and saying, how is the work environment? How are you coping? Is there anything that I can do to help? Not just looking at the workplace like a mechanism where people are supposed to come and deliver on what it is, but looking at people's well-being, then you're able to make sure that we are able to address those issues. And it's very important that they're investigated and everything is closed as per people's expectations.
All right, fantastic. fantastic. Next text, I understand we have about 2 more. Okay. Brian, 23, is that your age? Ama umetoka Kangemi? Like, ama it's Buru. Even Buru pia ni 23. Okay. How often should one speak about a raise with their HR manager? I'm often fearful of raising the subject with my supervisor and HR boss. That's a good one. Yes, again, you're throwing it back to
yes, yeah.
You should give
yeah.
industry practice.
I think it's a very common
Yes,
problem. And I think, you know, a lot of organizations don't give room for individuals to walk in and say, okay, this is what my performance, this is what I feel I should be getting because of what I've managed to achieve.
And I like what you have said about performance, because everything is performance based. You know, you'll get a salary increment based on your performance and how you have been able to contribute to the organization's success. But that said and done, things about salaries and allowances and benefits, people should always be able to speak about them. But it's also a two-way traffic in terms of how is the organization doing for us to be able to say it is time for us to have this conversation and to increase people's whatever. A good organization would look at many parameters, ability to sustain that wage, but also looking at an individual's performance. So there will be organizations will come and say, we are going to do a cost across, an increase across board, which is the cost of living increment, you know, standard, because inflation has gone up and let's do this for the entire organization. And then another organization will come and say, let's look at everybody's performance and have that conversation in terms of, Shiko, you've done a good job. We'll give you a certain percentage of increase. Margaret, you've not done so well, but we still feel that there's room for improvement, and this is what we will. And having clear parameters as to how that has been done. But also looking at coming to HR and having that conversation should be as clear as day and night. Come and say, this is what I've been able to deliver. This is what the market demands of my skill and experience. Is there room for me to be able to negotiate? So again, I go back to the culture that is in the organization. Ability for people to be approachable and for HR to know that I'll be able to listen. And sometimes you can come and have that conversation and say, I have heard you. I will take it back to the relevant people in the organization and I'll come back to you. And the problem is not giving back feedback to people. And that is where it starts now getting broken and people feel disappointed and demotivated.
That's true, very true. And you find relationships, that working relationship deteriorates. Okay, I understand this is our last one that we can sample. Anne here, who says, what body regulates HR practitioners, and can one lodge a complaint of their own HR manager? Okay.
Yes, through an act of parliament in December 2012, it was actually one of the bills that President Kibaki signed into law, was the HRMP Act number 52 of 2012, which is now regulating the profession in this country. So yes, there's a professional body in the country that takes care of HR practitioners in this country to regulate the profession. And if all people who are practicing as HR professionals should become members. Of course, there are set rules, you know, the criteria of how you become a member. But anybody who purports to be a HR practitioner in this country must be under the, you know, the membership of the
Correct.
Yeah, it's called the Institute of Human Resource Management. And yes, you can lodge a complaint through that body. Yes. I believe they have a desk. They have a desk where you can be able to lodge a complaint.
But Maggie, just based on the kind of feedback that we've gotten from some of our viewers, right? I think there's that sense of lack of humanity. Then there's no hate. We talked about it last time.
The H in human resource.
What happened to the H in human resource? Because at the center of all this, you've got your skill set, you have what even she's talking about, like what are you passionate about in terms of, you know, being a HR practitioner, but what's at the core of HR?
It's all good to get the technical skills, go to college, do your higher diploma or do your CHRP, get your degree. But at the end of the day, you need to realize you're dealing with people. And you know, it's not a machine, it's not like an electrical engineer, he's just dealing with, you know, you're dealing with people. So you need to have some skill sets that will help you navigate that space. So there's the soft skills. You have to have emotional intelligence. You need to know how to communicate with people. So for HR, it's not just, you know, just calling yourself a HR. Exactly. It's not just a matter of being able to do the paperwork. Or
and even in
paper.
the firing, they are quite brutal.
Which is wrong.
Where is the H?
That's where the emotional intelligence comes in. You need to put yourself, for example, in that person's space, while at the same time keeping your professionalism, empathizing with that person, understanding what they might be going through. And even taking a step further, if you're hiring somebody, you might even want to have maybe a counselor or somebody they can go to just to process what has happened. HR should be, you know, the HR profession, and Catherine will tell you, they wear so many hats. Yeah, they wear so many hats, and they should be seen to be the people who really are in touch with what the employees are going through. And they actually work within a very thin line, because you have to be on the side of the employees and also be on the side of the employer.
It's true. You're right. You're smack in between.
Yes. You should not be seen to be playing to any of the, you know, the galleries.
You're on the fence. It's a tough one.
So it's not an easy thing.
It's not easy. It's so okay, fine. Let's now flip the script a little bit and actually understand what it's like on the other side in terms of the kind of challenges as HR practitioners you face, because it's enough to make you go crazy dealing with 10 different issues in one day. And even for you, who's helping the HR practitioner?
Exactly, who's there for the strong? That's what we keep on saying. And every HR practitioner would attest that they need some buddies or peers to be able to reference some of these challenges that we face. But the most important one is the ability to strike that balance of motivated and happy employee. You know, that's the thing that will keep every HR practitioner awake at night. And now after that, then you start looking at what kind of programs am I going to put at the workplace to be able to meet that demand of the employee, because there are too many, you know, from a strategic point of view, to motivating, to engaging, to the retention. And those are kind of things that also management will look up to the HR to say, what are you doing for this organization for us to be able to move forward? So the challenges is really what will keep me awake at night is to make sure that I can be able to strike that balance between having a motivated workforce while productivity is still there and we are meeting the bottom line of the
because you also have your KPIs to meet.
And one of the things that we also like to throw in is that I'm also an employee. I'm also an employee of this organization. So whatever affects you affects me.
I'm also an employee.
Exactly. So when we have that conversation, people now start understanding, oh, these policies are not just from HR, you know, I'm also bound by those policies that we make. So it's so important. But having empathy, listening, good communication skills, knowing that I can be able to go to the kitchen and nobody leaves the kitchen when I'm there, you know, we can have a good laugh and stuff like that. Really knowing that I'm also part of
funny,
you.
Catherine.
Exactly.
But yeah, you put yourselves in that position to be the donkeys whipped to do everything in between. Again, we forgot you're also employees.
Exactly. Also an employee.
All right, so very quickly as we wind up, maybe you can tell us about emerging trends in HR that you believe will become more prominent in the coming years. I mean, you're right at the center of it, Maggie and Kathy. So what should we expect to see, as you say, Kwaheri?
I think we'll need to move more to coaching and mentoring. Critical. Critical, and especially when we look at the kind of the employees we have now. We need to ensure that in every workplace that is in place, we have to ensure that we provide coaching services and also a mentorship, right? Then, of course, there is the mental wellness that we spoke about, very critical. I'm not sure what's happening nowadays, but it looks like our younger generation, their coping mechanisms are a bit different from
Correct.
the other generation. So we need to be alive to that. Every employer must be alive to that in how you're able to, you know, to ensure that this is taken care of. Then, of course, there is the issue of hybrid workplaces. Yeah, our young people would rather work from home,
Right.
or from wherever. And then there is the issue of they want to finish their work. This is a terminology for, the gig economy. Yeah, so they would rather be given tasks, finish and go.
Right.
That idea of 9 to 5 doesn't really resonate very well to them. They would rather finish give them tasks, give them time, I mean the targets.
Yeah.
They'll achieve it. Don't expect them to just sit back and, you know, the whole day.
Yeah.
So those are some of the emerging issues that we are seeing in the workplace. But I know Catherine can, so being really the practitioner in the field, can maybe tell us what they are coming across at the workplace. Yeah. All
right. Would you like to give that one-liner, as we say, kwaheri?
Oh, yes. We also want to say that a lot will be done around diversity and inclusion, you know, in terms of making sure that everybody feel welcomed in the organization, and how do we leverage on everybody's strength, and how can we capitalize on that to make sure that that is felt across the organization.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, ladies. I think those are some great points that you've highlighted. And I think it also prepares a lot of those who are interested in the HR field for what's coming up and what, you know, lies ahead of you, because like you said, your industry is really evolving. It really is. We want to encourage the SMEs who are, you know, sector, or at least those of who are in Biashara today watching us, because we have so many of you who text in and also asking your questions, to really consider in investing in human resource, as Catherine and of course Maggie have said this morning. And to all HR managers, all HR managers who are watching the show, we apologize on behalf of all employees. Now we remember that you are also an employee. All right, so I want to say a big thank you to our certified, that's the keyword, certified, hey, human resource practitioners in the house, Catherine Wamwangi, and of course Margaret Kinyanjui, for taking time to be with us this morning. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Karibu tena, karibu tena.
Thank you.
Okay, and all the best. All right, so as we say, kwaheri, all of you, please listen up. We've got our Dumu Lotto competition still running. We're asking you to send anything between 50 Kenya shillings to 1,000 Kenya shillings to the pay bill number 919155, the account being K24. So this is how it goes. At the top of the hour, we've got 100,000 Kenya shillings to be giving away. Midway, we do have a bonus winner, but for now that it's close to 9, it means that it's 100K we're giving out. So Sarah, I am on the line. Hello Sarah, habari yako?
Poa sana.
Ehe, unatutazama kutoka wapi?
Niko sehemu za Kitale.
Kitale?
Yeah.
Ehe, habari ya Kitale?
Kitale kukopoa.
Okay. Sasa, you have been playing Dumu Lotto, Sarah.
Yeah, nimechangamuka leo.
Okay.
Nimelaukia asubuhi nikasema acha nijaribu bahati yangu.
Wow, fantastic. Na ulikuwa umeingisha ngapi? Ulikuwa umerusha ngapi?
50 bob.
50 peke yake?
50 bob peke yake.
What? Only?
Yes.
And now if I told you I have 100,000 for you?
Utakuwa umenipamua. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. At least imenipamua mahali mtoto hajaenda shule. Single mother.
Aya, utatuimbia
kubwa sana.
Ebu tuimbie, ebu celebrate by singing something for us.
Can I sing in Kalenjin?
Yes, sing. One line.
Kongo iwe Jehova. Asante sana Mungu kwa kunisaidia. Watu wote wananisikia wazidi kushiriki, siku yao itafika. Aya,
Kongo missing.
Aya, sawa.
All right, what a wonderful day there for Sarah saying Congo. And we say thank you to FYI Sarah for participating in Dumu Lotto. There she goes with her 100,000 Kenya shillings off to sort of her school fees, bills, and of course so much more. Thank you so much for your participation. All right, so we're going to leave it there. My name is Shiko Kaitani saying thanks so much for watching. I want to hand over to Sarah Ibrahim and Aunt Stella as they get interactive. Stick with us. Bye-bye.